Okay, but now to our morning session, to the morning round, where we daily would like to kind of in an informal way inform you about what happened, what is going on, which wounds are bleeding, which programs went good and so. And I'd like to again introduce and welcome Christl Baur. My dear colleague, and if you miss Veronika Liebl, then not because she left Ars Electronica, then rather more she's sitting currently parallel in a different panel session, exactly. And is needed there.
Yeah, and that panel will actually be streamed then on Sunday, so it's a
pre-recorded one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good. So let's lean back and have a little nap.
Have a coffee to start the day.
To start the day. What happened? We have day
3.
It's already day 3. Day 3 of the online festival. And today it is the day where about noon we kick off the on-site festival. The on-site festival will be something for 500 guests. We cut the days, actually, we structure the days in different shifts. You get a ticket that is valid for 3 hours. You are allowed to kind of meander around, to walk around through our parks, to look at our exhibitions, to have a coffee or a drink. And then the last hour of the 3, we invite people in the so-called inner circle, and the inner circle is nothing more than a concert setting on the Seebühne, as we call it, and then you get a little bit of performance programs, a little bit of what Ars Electronica normally delivers during the nights, and we have.
It's the best of Ars Electronica in 3 hours.
Yes.
I mean, imagine that.
Yes. And yesterday we had the first stress test. So the local JKU, so the faculty where we are allowed to host our festival, they came with their employees and were proving whether we were solid in our organization structure, in crowd management, and especially with a focus on this bloody thing called Corona. It is really not easy to make a festival in times like that. I think we repeat ourselves on this, but it is not easy. But step by step we adapt, I think, and we understand better under which circumstances we are doing this. The reality and the people coming show us that it is possible. It is partly a little bit strange, but it works. And the point is, and we saw this anyways already when we got in contact with our partners and how they jumped on this train to also use this opportunity to go back on a stage. Also the guests that we so far could welcome here, they have a hunger, yeah. And they want culture. They want this social gathering, and from that point of view, it is already that we know that it is good what we are doing. Okay.
Speaking about partner, I think that is the right term to start with now, because I mean, it's incredible what you do out there. It's incredible, it's fantastic what kind of feedback we get here. And this is not Ars Electronica program only, it is the program that is coming from all of you, that we are streaming since 2.5 days now, 24 hours through the night as well, or through our night as well.
Yeah.
And the feedbacks that we get, but also all the social media contents, when we scroll through our timelines on Facebook, Twitter, it's all about Ars Electronica, and not just coming from us, but coming from all of you.
It's not about Ars Electronica, it's all about you.
Exactly. So thank you really for this. That makes our day. Yeah. That's the first thing what we see in the morning when we wake up, and the last thing when we go to bed. So it's cool. Yeah, it really is.
It's exhausting, but it's really cool. So another little report that comes in my mind now is that yesterday evening we had a series of opening in the city. Yeah. Again, real city, real openings, real art, real artists and audience. So the Art University kicked yesterday off, they lifted off, I would say, with rather interesting stuff on the main square, the place where Ars Electronica usually is transforming the city during the festival in such a radical way, in such a participatorial way. They had like water pumps and projections on it. It sounded very cool.
Yeah, they were transforming the city.
Yeah, and also underneath the Lentos, I was physically there together with Karl Schmiedinger, our technical head. It was Fadi Dorninger and Sam Auinger. We announced it yesterday, and actually it was such a wonderful, almost poetic setting. So just the people walking along the Danube, and the two guys in this sleek glass architecture playing with sound phenomena. They had like 2 megaphones, and what they were doing is they were shooting sounds without any amplifier, without any hidden loudspeakers. And what they were showing was that sound is physical, sound is everywhere, and sound is coining us in our all-day behavior and influencing us in such a massive way. And on the other side, it's such an invisible power that has to become more visible. And the two guys, it was a real funky and nice experience. And on the background, we saw the Ars Electronica museum with the Stadtwerkstatt and with our colleagues in the church. And also there was I think a good party on.
Yeah,
it felt
certainly. Holy Hydra and those ladies that are organizing it.
They had swing yesterday.
They know how to get the people in a dancing mood,
so
even
it is
in
not
Corona times.
only about the online things, but it is a lot about the online
Well, speaking
things.
about Sound Campus, we cannot forget the maestro himself, Werner Jauch, in the Salzamt, actually.
Oh, yes.
He found a new home during the Ars Electronica Festival, I would say. And
doing his performances.
Exactly, speaking about moving, interaction, body, sound. I mean, all those keywords are very strongly linked to his work. And he has a group of incredible students with him that you see on this image now that supported him along the way in setting up that actually they designed the garment that is reacting on the sound and movement. So if you are near Hauptplatz, it's just around the corner.
Yes.
Go there.
And then we had, and this is now the last few back before we like to give you some recommendations for today. And then we had yesterday our official press tour. So that means that our colleagues out there in the gardens of Kepler, our garden keepers, they had to be ready in their preparation, and it was a beautiful weather, late summer day, and very good atmosphere, good mood.
What clouds!
Wonderful projects. Some clouds, just some clouds. Well, yeah, it went pretty good. I think the journalists and the press, they were kind of satisfied and also overwhelmed by the projects, but also by this wonderful venue that where we moved in. Okay, but what else do we want to talk about?
I mean, that's a little bit my topic. Focus on actually women in media arts.
Okay.
Because
this is something that I will moderate anyways then afterwards.
Exactly. I just wanted to give an overview that we have actually a full day program that is dedicated to this topic in all different kinds of aggregate states. We have a guided tour from Giulia Tomasello, a former Stats Prize winners. We have a whole media arts panel where the artists are currently rehearsing on the stage just outside, and they will then come and do the panel for you guys. And we will continue then in the afternoon with actually a project where incredible speakers from the US will introduce us of how to become a high-tech activist collective. And that sounds super interesting. And they actually do workshop also at the same time here to tell us how to really approach that, not just theoretically, but rather practically. And that's something, I hope I have time to join a little bit later.
I don't think so. I'm sorry when I look at your schedule. Another thing that is important and also where the vibes are getting up is that today is the day where we open but also at the evening we have this event, the soirée, which is a hybrid between the gala, you know, the event where we give our prizes, the ceremony where we give our prizes, and the long concert night. It's going to be the focus of this long concert night is. Yeah, actually, it is about what it is about that we fear about our freedom, about our individuality, about our autonomy, and about democracy. Yeah. So it is actually a journey back into the history of humankind, focusing on the phenomenon that we have something in ourselves that, from a specific level, forces us to raise our voices, to go out on the street and to fight for our rights. This is a phenomenon that is happening currently everywhere. Not everywhere, it should happen everywhere,
well, but
I guess.
In so many places spots, simultaneously right now.
And caused by so many different circumstances that for us we felt forced to pick up this topic, and what today will be on. It will be a show that is going to be a mix between quotes and texts about revolution, about riot, about freedom, actually. We will have the Bruckner Orchestra playing the first time after the Corona lockdown here in the city of Linz, a piece of Beethoven. We will have a wonderful jazz band. We will have for sure many Ars Electronica twisted events, electronic events, such as Christina Kubisch appears on the stage with a performance, and who else? Who else?
Well, we have, besides the Bruckner Orchestra, of course, the jazz band.
Yes, the jazz
where
band.
Where Markus Poschner, he himself, is also playing the piano.
It's not going to be a screening.
No.
It is a little bit of a sound tell, those who know what that is. A mixture, a kaleidoscope, a kaleidophone of actually a topic.
Yeah, exactly, and it is not just one stage, it's actually many stages that are then cut together, and when you sit in the physical space you have the outlook into the open space, into the campus, where you see on the top of a roof Karl Markovic standing and actually fighting for freedom.
Yes, and it's the wonderful Karl Markovic and Maria Hofstedt, two Austrian actors, very humanish persons, and they are helping us here. And it's going to be an intense evening, I assume. And for those who could catch a ticket, please be aware, late summer in Austria means no stilettos, no overdressed, bring warm clothes. We have something, we have some blankets to cover you, but it's, in Austrian we would say, it's becoming hushi.
And for all those that didn't get any tickets, we're sorry, but we're already booked out. But we will stream, of course, everything live.
Yes.
So prepare yourself, make yourself comfortable in your garden, on your terrace, and enjoy the stream.
And what else do we have, Christl?
Well, not too much time left, first and all. But actually what we in general want to use, and if you've been following the streams just a little bit, you probably in between always saw beautiful landscapes of Austria without any sound, where we kind of, with a camera view, go over lakes, over mountains, and that's something you should introduce at least very briefly.
Absolutely. This is coming then, but this is just one part of a series where we were asking our partners to send us images of silence, their subjective silence, which is, and turned out to be, a very poetic thing, because the silence in Sao Paulo is something different than...
It's not a silence, actually.
It is a silence. It's something different than a silence from an island from Finland.
Or the Adriatic Sea.
Okay, but now I take over as Mr. Moderator for you again. I thank Christl, and I send you out into the craziness of the last hours before we start the on-site opening. Take care, you have your microphone on. And I'd like to introduce you into a contemplative journey into our beautiful country, Upper Austria. Yeah, sitting here in the studio and being aware that out there, and if I look outside, it's again a wonderful day. Yeah. From Monday on, I will be there where the Upper Austrian tourism guided us now. And tourism is now the word, is a good introduction into the next program I'd like to introduce you. It is coming from our youth initiative, Create Your World, and out of a collaboration with the Upper Austrian Tourism Organization. The question of this collaboration is about the tourism of the future. And that was actually an ongoing project already launched last year, where kids, youth, young critical citizens, let's call them like that, were gathering together and we're thinking about what tourism in the future might be. And the outcome was last year a wonderful video. Then Corona came. And specifically the question of tourism is a rather important and crucial one. And you know, in times like that, the tourism industries in Austria, as well as the cultural industry, is like in a super lockdown. Austria's tourism industry belongs to the biggest economic values from the entire nation of Austria. So you can imagine what that means. What we have currently is, as Austrian citizens, is the wonderful landscape of Austria for us alone. But that has just a limit of fun, I would say. We are missing actually the international crowd, whether we are coming from the culture or coming from the tourism. And it is not just a missing, it is something existential. So this year, Create Your World had a tricky, actually, exercise in front of them, because making a video in lockdowns from a group already is something that is kind of a paradigm. It's simply not working. But what the outcome of this year is, in this extremely interesting, let's say it like that, situation, is something that we are going to look at in the next video.
Stunden, ein Jahr. Wir machen Stunden,
Wo bleibt sie jetzt? Ich glaube, jetzt kommt sie gleich. Endlich, hoffe ich.
Alter, es ist schon 15 Uhr. Wo warst du so lange?
Tut mir leid, der Hyperloop aus Salzburg hatte wieder mal technische Probleme. I'm sorry.
Wie auch immer, wir sollten jetzt endlich unsere Reise planen. Es wird schon langsam echt dringend.
Nein, ganz kurz. Wieso fährst du überhaupt noch mit dem Hyperloop?
Weil mir die Flugtaxis, mit denen du immer herumfliegst, viel zu teuer sind. Und außerdem ist der Hyperloop viel umweltfreundlicher.
Leute, for real, nicht schon wieder diese Diskussion, es ist immer dasselbe.
Also, ich habe letztens meine Eltern gefragt, wo sie früher ihren Urlaub verbracht haben. Und sie haben gemeint, dass sie seit Corona einfach nur noch in Österreich waren.
Ja, voll, meine Eltern auch. Ich finde es einfach arg, dass sich früher die Mittelklasse noch Auslandsreisen leisten konnte.
Wäre doch urcool, wenn wir einfach wieder in diese Zeit könnten und außerhalb Österreichs verreisen könnten. Ich war noch nie irgendwo anders.
Ja, ich meine, ich weiß nicht. Wenn du so drüber nachdenkst, diese Zeit ist eigentlich schuld daran, dass wir jetzt nicht mehr so reisen können. Ich meine, es sind einfach damals viel zu viele Leute mit Flugzeugen und Kreuzfahrtschiffen verreist. Wir waren so kurz vor einem Umweltkollaps. Ganze Inseln sind untergegangen. Die Malediven zum Beispiel. So krank.
Apropos, die wurden ja jetzt wieder neu aufgebaut. Es gibt sogar schon Flugtickets. Was hält ihr davon, wenn wir dorthin fliegen?
Wir haben doch gerade eben darüber geredet, dass wir uns sowas nicht leisten können.
Ich meine, what the fuck eigentlich? Wie ignorant kann man bitte sein? Die Malediven sind untergegangen. Das war eine Warnung, dass wir nicht mehr so weitermachen können wie bisher. Und dass wir nicht so respektlos mit der Umwelt umgehen können. Manche Leute haben es einfach nicht gecheckt. Es geht nur ums Geld.
Whatever. Also, ich will einfach mal weit weg als mein Burgenland.
Ja, ganz ehrlich, Leute, ich weiß, euch ist die Umwelt ziemlich egal. Aber ich verstehe einfach nicht, wie man heutzutage noch so denken kann. Nur weil du es dir leisten kannst.
Übertreib.
Nein, lass sie ausreden. Ich würde gerne wissen, was sie wirklich über uns denkt.
Ja, Leute, ich liebe euch, aber es ist einfach arg, wie ihr dieses Thema immer auf die Seite schiebt. Ich meine, wie sollen wir uns bitte auf einen Urlaubsort einigen, wenn wir so verschiedene Mindsets haben?
Ja, ich verstehe, was du meinst. Umweltfreundlichkeit und so ist wichtig, aber jetzt so komplett auf das Fliegen zu verzichten als einzelne Person, das kann ich mir halt auch nicht wirklich als Lösung vorstellen.
Ja, voll. Im Endeffekt kann eine einzelne Person ja nichts ändern, ob sie jetzt fliegt oder nicht.
Das stimmt nicht. Die eigene Meinung und die eigene Einstellung kann sehr wohl andere Leute beeinflussen. Ich meine, auch einfach dazu inspirieren, was anderes zu tun und Dinge anders anzugehen. Für mich ist es zum Beispiel wichtig, bei einem Urlaub, dass er möglichst umweltfreundlich ist und dass die Leute deswegen nicht ausgebeutet werden. Es gibt in Österreich genug schöne Orte, wo wir Urlaub machen könnten, die nicht Touristinnen überströmt sind.
Ja, das ist ja schön und gut, aber ich will halt so viele verschiedene Orte sehen, solange die Erde noch schwebt. Ich meine, ist es nicht interessant, verschiedene Kulturen kennenzulernen? Das kann man in Österreich nicht machen. Und wenn ich mir einen Luxusurlaub leisten kann, wieso sollte ich dann darauf verzichten?
Wie Ade schon gesagt hat, ein Luxusurlaub ist eben nicht sehr umweltfreundlich. Und außerdem glaube ich nicht, dass du die Kulturen dort wirklich kennenlernst, wenn du in irgendeinem All-Inclusive-Hotel bleibst. Für mich lernt man neue Kulturen kennen, indem man in kleinen Betrieben konsumiert, in kleinen Hotels übernachtet oder Kulturevents besucht.
Voll, finde ich auch.
Ja, ich verstehe euch ja, aber wir haben halt einen komplett verschiedenen Zugang zu dem Ganzen. Und das ist ja auch okay. Aber wie einigen wir uns jetzt darauf, wo wir hinfahren?
Wartet kurz, ich habe eine Idee.
Hey, es tut mir leid, dass ich dich vorher so angegangen bin. Aber mir ist dieses Thema einfach wirklich wichtig. Und manchmal nervt es mich einfach, wenn ich merke, dass euch dieses Thema nicht so beunruhigt wie mich.
Ja, ist schon okay. Hauptsache, wir haben jetzt gescheit darüber diskutiert.
Schaut mal. Es gibt jetzt dieses neue Programm von Ars Electronics, mit dem man einfach mit dem VR-Brillen in andere Länder reisen kann. Es fühlt sich urecht an und es ist auch billig und relativ umweltfreundlich. Ihr müsst es einfach nur aufsetzen.
Ich habe schon davon gehört und finde es voll interessant.
Ja, ich kenn's nicht, aber es wirkt cool.
Wow.
Okay, wo wollen wir hin?
Wie wär's mit Malediven?
Ja, fix. Wir können mal die Demo-Version ausprobieren.
Naja, ich weiß nicht. So ein richtiger Urlaub ist das, finde ich, auch nicht ganz.
Wir machen Stunden ein Jahr. Mondschein